Hey everyone, I hope you are doing great. The topic I want to cover today is Nash Equilibrium slash game theory. So let's get rolling. And before we jump into Nash Equilibrium and the examples, let's take a step back and understand which market structure Nash Equilibrium belongs to. So there are four market structures here: perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. So the game theory or the Nash equilibrium is a part of oligopoly market structure. All right. So let's understand some key features of oligopoly. Okay. So in oligopoly, there are few large firms. So a small number of firms control most of the markets. Now, these firms are interdependent, right? So firms in the oligopoly market are kind of interdependent. In other words, firms must consider competitors' action while making their decisions. And let's take some, examples of companies in oligopoly market. So some examples of the companies will be Coke versus Pepsi. We can have Apple versus Samsung, or like Boeing versus Airbus. Those are the firms. There are kind of few large firms, and in the oligopoly market. Okay. Now there are two types of oligopoly. So the first one is collusive oligopoly. Now here they form cartels. So firms compete and form cartels to set prices and they limit production. So, for example, OPEC, right? It leads to higher prices and less competition here. Now, the second type of oligopoly is non-collusive oligopoly. And here, firms compete independently. Okay. And they're kind of rivals as well. As we earlier talked about, like Coke versus Pepsi, they're kind of, pretty close rivals. And non-collusive oligopoly is often analyzed using game theory, such as Nash equilibrium. All right. So before we jump into an example, let's briefly understand what Nash equilibrium is. So Nash equilibrium is a situation where no player could benefit by changing their own strategy. In other words, each player's strategy is optional when considering the decisions of the other parties or the other players. Okay. So a dominant strategy is a strategy that always provides a better or at least equal payoff for a player regardless of what the other players do. Okay. Now, we can take a look into an example just to, make more sense. So, there are two competing coffee shops here in a neighborhood. So, shop A, shop B, and they must decide on their prices. So, shop A and shop B can charge high price, like $5 per cup of coffee, or they can charge low price, $3 per cup of coffee. If they charge low price, they're gonna have higher revenue because they're gonna attract more people. So on the right hand side, we have the numbers in the matrix represents the revenues. So the red numbers represent the revenue for shop A, and the blue numbers represents the revenue for shop B. Okay. So let's say owner of the shop B charges high price of $5 to customer. So shop A basically has two options: charge high price and make $50 in revenue, or charge low price, get more customers and earn $8 in revenue. So comparing $50 revenue to $80 revenue, shop A will keep their price low. So to summarize, when shop B choose high price, shop A will choose low price. Okay. Now let's look what happens when shop B charges low price. So then shop A would earn $20 in revenue if they charge high price, or $30 in revenue if they charge low price. Okay. So because 30 is greater than 20, clearly when shop B charges low price, shop A will charge also low price. So no matter what shop owner B charges, higher price or lower price, shop A will always charge low price, because this is a dominant strategy for shop A, as it provides a better payoff regardless of what shop B does. Now we can look into from shop B's perspective, right? So if shop A charges high price, shop B has two options, which is to also charge high price or charge low price. Now we are focusing on the numbers blue here for shop B. Because $80 revenue is greater than $50 revenue, shop B would charge low price when shop A charge high price. Now, what happens when shop A charges low price? Well, shop B would earn $20 by charging higher price, or $30 by charging low price. Since $30 is greater than 20, shop B will charge low price. Okay. When shop A charges low price. So just like the first example we saw earlier, no matter what shop owner A charges, shop B will be better off charging low price, and so that's shop B's dominant strategy. Okay. All right. So what will be the Nash equilibrium here? So the Nash equilibrium will be shop A charging low price and shop B also charging low price, where they earn $30 in revenue each. Okay. Now, let's take another example, which is the classic prisoner's dilemma. So we have two criminals here, prisoner A and prisoner B, who are arrested and interrogated separately. So let's understand the strategy of prisoner 1 when prisoner 2 confess. So here, prisoners can confess, or they can just stay silent, right? So when prisoner 2 confesses, prisoner 1 will have two options: to confess or to stay silent. If prisoner 1 can confess and get 5 years of jail time, or he can remain silent and get 10 years of jail time. So prisoner 1 would prefer to confess when prisoner 2 confesses, right? Because 5 years of jail time is less than 10 years of jail time, so prisoner 1 would prefer to confess when prisoner 2 confess. Okay. Now what happens when prisoner 2 remains silent? Well, if prisoner 1 confesses, he would get 0 years of jail time. And if he remains silent, he'll get 1 year of jail time. So when prisoner 2 remains silent, prisoner 1 confesses, right? Because 0 is less than 1. So to confess will be a dominant strategy for prisoner 1. So if prisoner 2 remains silent or prisoner 2 remains, or confesses, prisoner 1 will always confess, and that's prisoner 1's dominant strategy. Okay. Now, from prisoner's 2's perspective, when prisoner 1 confesses, prisoner 2 will get 5 years. So we are focusing on the blues now, number 5 and number 10. So when prisoner 1 confesses, prisoner 2 has option to confess or to stay silent. If prisoner 2 confesses, get 5 years of jail time. If remains silent, get 10 years of jail time. So prisoner 2 will confess and get 5 years of jail time when prisoner 1 confesses. Okay. Similarly, when prisoner 1 remains silent, prisoner 2 confess and get 0 years of jail time, and remains silent and get 1 year of jail time. Because 0 is less than 1, so there is no jail time versus 1 year of jail time, prisoner 2 would also confess. Okay, when prisoner 1 remains silent. So to confess will be also a dominant strategy for prisoner 2. So in theory, our Nash equilibrium will be both prisoner 1 and 2 confesses and each getting 5 years of jail time. All right, and that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Would love to hear. Thanks for watching.